Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Rhinestone Island episode 40, and today's episode is focusing on something that I've been looking forward to for a pretty long time now, actually. This will be the finalizing of the topography for the rest of this map, just like mostly these two flat little areas that are still kind of untouched, and well, really just integrating the mountains with the different roads and the layout of the rest of, I guess, our island. So the main focus, like I said, will be not only doing terraforming, but also laying out some baseline roads and getting the highway sort of situated, and also working out some interchanges for the various parts of the rest of this island over here, as well as, of course, tackling this river up here. It's going to be completely redone, along with actually quite a bit of the inner part of that sort of currently stagnant river that's between Rhinestone City and this area over here. So lots of redoing in the natural respect. Now, something important to note is that you'll see a lot of this kind of like very rough terrain editing here that will just be like pretty much laying out the idea for where the mountains are going to go, but then not actually doing any real detailed topographical work, just to make sure that we can first get the roads laid out and the things that are going to be built there done, so we don't accidentally spend a bunch of time working out these little details in the mountains and then just totally flattening them with roads and whatnot. So anyway, we're gonna start with this little town over here. I'm gonna make a interchange, I guess. Not really much of an interchange, really just like an exit point so we can get over to this town. Pretty standard exit for highways like this, nothing too crazy. And then I'll also connect this highway back over to the other highway, because right now we don't have a connection to Copperville, which is kind of a problem. And I'll also get that railway connected as well in a minute here. But I also wanted to just get an idea of where this town was going to go, because as I said in the last episode, we'll be focusing on a couple different things that are still remaining in Rhinestone Island, one of them being a rally track. And we'll actually start on the roads for the rally track. We're not going to do any actual work on the, I guess what you would call the rally event, or any of the actual racing stuff. We'll just be doing the roads and the places where that rally event will take place. And then next episode we'll jump into the rally event and the rally track itself. And then I think I'll be sort of just like dedicating an episode, or each episode on from here to a different sort of aspect of this build, whether it be the rally track or maybe some like natural components up by that the river and the lake up there. But we'll be just kind of planning that out as we go, and picking different topics for each episode that sort of make sense. But like I said, in this one, it's really going to be mostly focused on just like the general laying out of how this is all going to look, getting these highways situated, getting the mountain situated, and more importantly, trying to make it easier to integrate this this mountainous region and all of our different builds and things, because it is kind of hard to work, I think anyway, with terrain, like making things that are on different terrain levels and making it look good and intentional. It's just kind of a hard thing to do, because you don't normally want to be manipulating the terrain every 2 seconds and then building, and then manipulating the terrain and then building, and it's hard to get an idea of what the surrounding area should look like in terms of mountains and things, without the mountains actually being there. But you can't build the mountains, because then you can't build all of the stuff you want to build on those mountains, because you got slopes and everything now. So you're gonna see a bit of a combination of both throughout this episode. So like I said, some very rough draft stuff, like just sort of laying out plateaus and height levels, so we can at least know at what height level we're going to have certain things, and then come back and do all the detailing of the terraforming and the finer details of these mountains here and there. But this particular area over here by the highway will actually get quite a bit of its terraforming detailing done this episode, mostly because I'm not going to build anything over here besides this highway. So I figured, why not sort of carve up this side of the mountain and make it look nice. Now, I am trying something kind of strange here. I did it a little bit actually over by would have been, I guess, Rico Harbor with the railway, but I don't know. I wanted to have these little extensions of the mountain, as I sort of shaped the mountain in this way anyway. I have these like big kind of arched sort of segments of the mountain kind of carving out, in between the valleys. It's just sort of how these mountains form. And then I thought, why don't we have these sort of go straight up into the highway and then have the highway cut straight into these little, I guess, branches or legs of the mountain. So I did that a little bit over here. I know it looks a bit strange right now, but we're going to work it quite a bit and shape everything up. And once we get the details done and get the foliage and everything in over here, it should look much better. But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, the very fine work when I have the size way down at like 49 or 50 or even 70. That's sort of like the finer work stuff that really won't be seen much in this episode anyway. I think the majority of the terrain work will be just like kind of carving things and making very, very general shapes of where the mountains are going to go. But this is going to be the town that we're going to have the rally event take place in. And when I say take place, I really do mean like just like a regular town. It's going to have probably not even any commercial, honestly. It's just kind of like some neighborhoods and things, just a little off-ramp kind of area. And then, maybe like the occasional gas station or a very, very simple rest stop kind of area. But I just thought it would be a cool place to have this rally event hosted. And, I guess first, like a little disclaimer here, I really never watch rally events. I don't really know anything about rally, to be honest. But it seemed like a really cool thing to try. And I did a little bit of research. I mean, you really can't, it's hard to learn about an entire sport, just in like a few hours of research. But, just from like looking at the way these things are done, I guess it was really interesting to learn about the way all this worked. I kind of figured that all rally events or most rally events were held in like closed courses. I mean, they are closed courses, obviously. There's no like pedestrians or civilians on the road at the time, but I figured they were like pre-built courses that are maintained and have like stands all around them, like you'd see at like a NASCAR event or something. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of these big rally events actually just take place in existing locations, with like just dirt roads and wherever there happens to be roads that seem to present a challenge. They'll be like, all right, we should host a rally event here, and then they block off the roads and they plan out the course, and then it just, now these roads become a course. So I thought, well, we should have it start in this town anyway, and then we'll use all these dirt roads that are going to be winding around the mountains anyway to form a track out of it and then go from there. So that's where we're going to be putting this course, I guess. But this episode will be mostly just putting those roads down, and then we'll figure out exactly the direction of the course from then on. Now, right now you're seeing me do this river a little bit. I know I mentioned it a bit earlier on, but I wanted to get a better river. I know that the current or the existing little river we had was pretty okay, but I thought the terrain was pretty odd, and I wanted to redo it and make it look nicer anyway. So this is a second attempt at that. Now, I did have some trouble with this, and I think you'll see it later on in the episode, but it was kind of hard to balance the right amount of water to get this whole river to fill up and run smoothly without totally flooding the whole valley. So you might see that later on, and then we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, I just wanted to have a small little river that kind of cuts into our village over there, and then a larger output that goes straight into that sort of stagnant area right between Rhinestone City and this area over here. So that's what you saw back there. Now, this little thing, so I recognized a location where we could have a pretty cool waterfall, and I thought, let's do it, because I know I get tons of requests. People are saying, like, man, make a sweet waterfall. Why no cool waterfalls? And I remember since this map even came to be, people were saying I should make waterfalls, and I never really, got around to it, mostly because the water physics are kind of wonky sometimes in this game, but I figured we'd give it a shot here, and you can see I'm sort of fighting it a little bit here. I'm trying to get the water to evenly flow over this lip without going overboard and then just totally flooding the whole thing. So I'm trying to get it nice and as close as you can, but when you get that super shallow water flow, you start getting these weird glitchy spots where the water kind of comes in and out, and it looks a bit weird. So it does take a bit of tweaking to get this whole thing to work out, but in the end, the actual shape of this waterfall turned out to be pretty sweet, and I'm actually really excited to when we work on this sort of upper area and do all the nature and things up here. We're gonna probably have some hiking trails and whatnot up here, and I want to have a little sort of, not even really a dam, but a water control facility at the top of that lake up there to kind of control the outflow of water into this river. But I want to build all that stuff at once and do like a big episode on that, and we'll get to detailing the waterfall, and it looks super awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be probably in the next few episodes. But for now, I just wanted to connect this railway again because unfortunately we had this disconnected a while ago, and that meant that nobody could use that train line. So we had lots of traffic coming into Copperville. So this will fix that. Very simple again, just gonna cut it in here. And I think I had some weird problems with height in this area, just kind of weird stuff that happens with the tunnels in this game, but nothing that wasn't too hard to fix in the end, I don't think. Pretty sure I'll just cut it out. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so over here, this is what I was talking about earlier. I want to have sort of like a water flow control facility, I guess. So it's not quite a dam. There's not really like a full-size dam going on. It's more like a runoff kind of ramp. I don't even know if you'd call it that, but I wanted to make it nice and smooth, like a nice little like runoff kind of area that once the lake gets to a certain height, it starts running over this little thing and then comes down. And I use these like overpass cement blocks to sort of further I guess solidify the little runoff thing there. So that's what that's all about. Just kind of cut some in and out here. I'm probably going to put some buildings up here and like really detail it later on, but I wanted to get at least a sort of baseline idea of what this whole thing would look like. So that's what's going on right now. Just some simple concrete here and there to sort of, I guess, insinuate what would be a control facility. I think I'll have like a building up on this right hand side or something later on up on these concrete blocks, but this is what I came up with for now. Pretty basic, nothing too crazy. And then you can see, obviously, some water runoff. I actually cut off quite a bit of footage of me playing with dams. I was going to originally put a dam up there, but it was really, really hard. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to make dams where you don't have a whole lot of wiggle room with how much water can be coming out, but it is really hard to control how much water comes out on the other side of that dam. And no matter what I did, just it never worked out, and I always had like the entire canyon flooded no matter what I did. So I just kind of decided to not do that, and I think this alternative is actually kind of cool anyway. So yeah, and also it's much more consistent, which is nice. So we'll do something like that. But like I said, just drawing some different roads. I want to have a road going up to that little lake up there. We're gonna have a facility up there. The road going out to the right over there, and then of course the road going back down towards the town over there. And I think that this rally course is going to be what you would call like a sprint. So it's not like a circuit. It's just going to go from one point, point A to point B. And with that in mind, I just thought, okay, we'll have it start in the town down there, and then probably end at some sort of location at the top of that plateau that we were building earlier. If you branch to the right instead of going towards that lake. So I'll do something like that. I'm not really sure what's going to go up there quite yet, but I do want to have a couple little townhouses, just like mountain homes that are way out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe even have some, I don't know, just like some larger properties would be kind of cool to play around with. So we'll do something like that. But to wrap this up, what I really wanted to do for the rest of this time lapse anyway, and we'll come back in and start working on the town afterwards and do kind of a live portion. But I really wanted to start further tackling these mountains because, again, it's been bothering me just how not shaped these were. So I'm going to go in and do most of the detail work in these areas that won't really be getting any building on. They're just going to be natural components. We're going to have some foliage and whatnot, but we're not going to have any actual buildings over here. That's what this is all right now, just kind of shaping things up and cleaning up what I did at the very beginning of this series, and making it look much better, I think. But just the stuff on the back, I'll further detail and tackle the landscaping and the terraforming in the front area probably at a later date, probably the same episode that I do the waterfall in, because that one will be like the natural episode. We'll do lots of foliage placement and all that fun stuff, but I would expect quite a few time lapses in the next few episodes as we start doing a little more detail oriented work and in filling out this area, because it's a lot more props and terraforming and stuff like that than it is actual structural stuff like we do in a city or anything like that. So all right, I also wanted to connect this this little part of Copperville to the road up here. So I'm gonna make a little split off over here, and do some very minor shaping, not anything too finalized, I guess, quite yet. And just connect it up here so we have a way to get down on the other side of the mountain as well. But that's pretty much it now. I want to jump over to the live portion and start working on the town, get that sort of finalized, and then we can set ourselves up for the next episode with the rally track. Alright, so I decided to stop the time lapse there, and I think we're at a point now where we've got pretty much everything laid out the way that we want it. We've got enough detail in the topography to have an idea of where the track's going to go, where we're going to have different things up here, and the town over here. All that stuff is good to go. But on top of that, we're not at a point where we've gone too far. We can still do all of the expansion and building and all that stuff just fine. And then after all that's done, then we can kind of go in piece by piece and start detailing different kind of components around this whole mountain range over here. So today's focus will be on the main town over here, but obviously, as I said, in the time lapse, we'll be doing different episodes for different sections. So maybe like an episode on this upper area over here. Might have some little trails and things in this mountain on this side. We'll have an episode for this area over here where we're going to focus on the end of the rally track over here, and maybe some homes and things all spread around this area over here. But in each of those episodes, we'll be detailing and finishing off those sections of the mountain range. So I've been getting a few questions about why I do things like use the park versions of these gas stations, and the reason for that is I plop so much of that Rico stuff that it seems like I hardly ever plop parks anymore, and because of that, I have a hard time maintaining land value. So I try and take advantage of opportunities to use things like these gas stations pretty much whenever I can. So let's put it in this direction, facing this way. Let me see if I can tweak this land a little bit. It seems like it's a bit off. But I like to use the parks as much as possible. I think it just kind of makes it a little bit easier to, well, yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff going on here. But I think it definitely helps the land value. So let me fix this just a tiny bit. There we go. For some reason, that actually brought this planter into the ground. That's kind of weird. Let me see if I can level this out. So there we go. Just a little bit. I'm not too worried about it being 100% level, but it kind of helps, I think. So we got that now. Obviously, we have no water, no power. So let's bring some pipes down on this main road here. This to here, and then maybe to like here, and then just connect it like that. All right, looks good. I'm just gonna connect it to the main town like this. Actually, that one was a bit off, wasn't it? Let's see if I can do this a little bit better. Something like that. That's much better. There we go. Boom. There's our connection there. And then I don't really know why this was like this. I have no idea why I did that, actually. I'm just going to delete it. I think a long time ago, I was thinking that this was going to be some more like high density stuff. So I was planning on making like a shipping yard on both sides. But I think I'm going to be pulling this way in and turning it into like more of an opening, like a mouth for this river over here. Because this is kind of like a strange looking area. Like it's got this big kind of body of water that is not moving. It's like stagnant, so this river just kind of dumps into it. So I think I'm gonna have some like cool cliffs kind of around here, and then just make this into like a little lake type thing, and then the water sort of connects over here through some more kind of stagnated stuff over to the bay over there, and to the bay over on this side as well. So it's just something to think about. I don't really know exactly how that all happened. I mean, it is a result of the original map, the design. I just didn't have any flowing water in here, which is fine. It turned out fine, actually. And I think that now that we have this river here, we got some more rivers to work with, some more moving water. This could go in like that on the opposite side, I think would look kind of nice. There we go. And then we're pretty much going to go straight into neighborhoods after that. So what I've kind of noticed in areas like this, towns like this, is it seems like you've got big homes just kind of zoned straight in. And in fact, let me go ahead and just like turn this into a district just so that we can employ the building theme we're using for all this stuff. So I'll just bring it over here for now. We'll fix that later on. Obviously very, very rough design here, but we can go ahead and select Enable Themes Manager, and then we'll use the Rhinestone Suburbs theme. Not all buildings are a little... Ooh, interesting. Hang on a minute. That's strange. Theme Manager. What do they mean? Oh, my Best Buy is not loaded. Looks like everything else is loaded except for that. Yeah, we're good to go. That's kind of weird. Best Buy not loaded. Whatever. Anyway, so we got that. There we go. Now we can go and start zoning, and it should be fine. So like I said, usually like pretty nice, kind of like historic homes on the main road. So I'm going to just let that happen. Pretty much all the way down here. Now, ooh, this is important though. We don't want to have any homes right here. In fact, let me go back one. I think because we're hosting a rally event here, I don't want to have any of the actual event stuff be just like literally the width of this road right here. Because we're going to have buildings here and here, you know, everywhere around this way. So we don't have room for that. But if we had like a parking lot over here and then maybe like an empty lot back here, that would kind of give us room to do this rally event. So I think I'm going to do that. Something like that for now. Kind of sucks that we're like just barely off. I mean, honestly, I'm tempted to just like very slightly rotate this whole thing just a little tiny bit. You know what? I think I might try and do that. Hang on a minute. Let's pause this. Let's just remove all these buildings. I'm going to leave what we already built. Now watch this. We're just going to go ahead and select all of these nodes. And then if we also select the buildings here, then we should be able to, using the home key, there we go, just ever so slightly rotate this. Let's go a couple more ticks. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we're right in line. Fantastic. Awesome. Look at that. And then you should be able to start bringing zones in now. Let's see. Now this is off by just a little bit. Let's go ahead and fix that. Awesome. I'm just going to leave that as is for now. We'll tweak that later on, but looks good. Okay, zoning wise. So we're going to zone here. I think I'm going to pull this in. Just, oop, hang on. I actually want to level this out just a little bit so all of our props look a bit better when they're all placed in here. So not trying to level everything, but I definitely want to try and keep these areas sort of level to the best of my abilities. Actually, I'm going to bring this one down to about... Okay, might have to just deal with that then. I think I would want to have some concrete back here as well, because this is kind of like the back part of this little gas station. We got a whatever car wash right there, so I'd imagine that would happen. Let's put down some built-in concrete here. There we go. Might try and smoothen this just a little. Oop, that did not help at all. Well, I guess I'll just fill this corner then. There we go. That's fine. And then same thing over here. There we go. Alright, perfect. So I might let one home grow in right here. And I'm going to try and make these a bit more compact over here. So we're going to do some little 3x3s, or actually, let's do some 2x2s actually right through here. So we got one there, and then I'm going to bring this out just enough to do another little section here. Fit those in nice and tight, like that. And then probably some more 2x2s over on this side here, like that. That's good. Fill to the end here. Then I think from here I'll have one more road just kind of continue out this way and become the last little dead end of this neighborhood here. So you know, something like this will probably happen. And I don't think I'm going to connect these at all, so I'll leave it as is for that. But see, for back here, I kind of want this to go away. Well, you know what? No, we'll just fully zone this out. Let it do its thing. Same with this side over here. I'm going to let these be bigger. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to leave this as a little walkway as well. I'm just trying to think about where these little pathways are going to go. So, for example, here I want to have one that goes to there, and then I think I'm going to have this one just go out. What the heck? This one is for some reason a definitely doesn't need to be a 4x2, but it is. So I'm gonna just delete it and let another one build in there. This one I was anticipating to be a 3x3. I'm gonna delete that and let it be a 3x3 right there. So two 2x2s and a 3x3 right there. This area could be smoothed quite a bit, actually. I think the homes like auto smooth some of these areas in like weird ways. Whoops, that's not really helping, is it? Let's do this. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna smooth it out just a little bit from there. That's probably as close as we're gonna get it. I think that the house is just gonna by themselves do some weird stuff here, so I'll let that all kind of sort itself out. We are on a hill, so that's gonna happen just kind of naturally. We do need to get some water. Oops, my water pipes are all messed up now because I changed the angle of this road. Forgot about that. Go ahead and tweak that just a little bit here. And then I guess I'll just give these guys their own little pipe there. I don't know how much I enjoy having this thing kind of just be here with this road right next to it. I think to remedy this like weird kind of area, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring out, yeah, I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna bring out a little walkway, a little path. I think incorporating these little paths like this is gonna be pretty big and making these rural areas look nicer. So I'm gonna try and do this quite a bit. In fact, I might bring it all the way over to right next to the bridge here, and then have it kind of cross with the bridge. Yeah, we'll tweak this from then on afterwards. Maybe I'll just leave it like this for now, just so I know I was planning on doing something with it. But that's kind of nice there. We got some houses over here. That's better though. I want it to feel like it's kind of connected. And I think I'm going to zone a few houses over here too, but just a couple in like very select locations. So a little 3x3 right there. I'm going to fit in two 3x3s like that, and then a little 2x2 here, and that's it. And we'll leave this all kind of empty. I'll have some little fences and stuff in the future just to kind of get that going. I might have some houses up here. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we could do a few houses up here, I guess. Just the thing that I noticed about these rally tracks, and again, this is coming from somebody who has like literally zero experience in the sport, so I do apologize for all you rally fans out there who probably are recognizing everything that I do wrong. But you know, I'm not going for perfection here or anything, but I did want to make it at least seem a little bit plausible. So, but I just noticed, and this is something that I didn't know about rally at all. I mean, I know that there are certainly tracks that are built specifically for rally, but it seems like a lot of the times, especially in these like sprint events like this, it's just like they just take existing roads and they turn them into rally tracks, and then they just kind of, you know, tape off different roads that you're not supposed to go, and they're just like, yeah, you know, there's a home like right there, right? There'd be like a house like right on the end of a corner that cars are flying by at like 100 miles an hour or whatever. It's crazy. So I'm trying to mimic that just a little bit, and it seems like I just thought it was so cool though, how like there'd be some rally tape like right here, and then the cars would just fly by these like little homes, and people are like sitting outside on their lawn like watching these cars fly by. thought that was really interesting. So I'm gonna try and mimic that just a little bit here. So I got that, and then I don't know if I'm gonna have any more houses up here, but we'll touch on this area a little bit later on. But the reason why I wanted to bring this out is start thinking about any back neighborhoods over here. Now, for this one, we could certainly bring the road on this direction a little bit. I think I might actually do that. Something like this right up to the river bank over here. I don't know if I'm gonna make a crossing or not, though. I guess I probably should, so we can utilize this area over here. Let me pause it so we don't cause any problems here. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of weird terrain stuff going on from back when I first designed this map. So let's see if we can smooth this out just enough so we can... Actually, I'm going to try and get it the same height as this road right now. Oh, there's a bit of a height difference, isn't there? Delete this, just again temporarily. Just trying to get an even place to bring this road to. Now let's go ahead and force the bridge. For some reason it has to be here. That's okay though. And from there we go back to regular road type. Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna try and like even out. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Let's bring the strength like way down. Let's try and even out this the way this river kind of moves in here. It's a bit at the mouth of the river, so it's going to definitely expand quite a bit and fly out into the ocean here. And I think I'm going to tweak this quite a bit. I might have like a little like cement barriers in here and stuff in the future when we detail it. But for now, I just want to get the main road in here. And I think once we get to this side, I'm going to turn it into dirt. So something like this pretty much immediately. And then, well, let's go ahead and connect these these power lines again so we don't have just non-powered areas. Whoa, that went just underwater there. Am I... Oh, my chirpy's gone. Why is my chirpy gone? Did I enable a mod or something? Maybe now when you disable chirpy, it just straight up removes him from... They didn't get rid of chirpy, did they? Do I have a mod installed that does that? I'm using Anarchy, and I wanted to be able to see if I was using it or not, and clearly, okay, Anarchy is now working, I believe. It really seems like it would make sense to make this a neighborhood as well, just given the circumstances. So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna make this a neighborhood. So we'll go to like here, and then make the road kind of curve a little bit, go down this way. I'm gonna... Can't I do... Oop, I need to have snap on to do this. There we go. Boom. Got that connected. And then I think from there we'll just do some little condensed neighborhoods here and there. So maybe have this one come off like this. Make a parallel 2x2 housing grid over here. And then I'm gonna very quickly break away from this like we did in the other area. So we're gonna go maybe down here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna like immediately bring this one out and do the same thing in this direction. So kind of follow that just a little bit. Whoops. I don't have any power or water over here. Totally forgot about that. All right, let's fix that real quick. But yeah, we'll shade that up later on. So I think for now I'm gonna be a bit cautious in how close we get to it in case we decide to cut it in a little bit. Now I'll bring the water in these directions. I started doing this recently. Just like putting all my pipes on roads like this. I don't know, it's what Strict Toaster does it. I think Fresh Popcorn does it a little bit too. Maybe not, but I don't know. It's one of those things that I never really used to care about it, and I still don't really care about it. But for some reason now, it just feels weird if I don't do it. So I like to do it. I don't know. Let me also bring one out this way like that. There we go. That looks good. Now we might need a few more roads over here. I think I'm gonna try and also do a little bit of dirt stuff so we can kind of mimic what we're doing over here. So with that in mind, maybe we go out this way just a tiny bit. Alright, so this is the neighborhoods that we came up with, and it is really not a whole lot of this town, as you can see. I mean, we've got kind of little pieces here, like a main strip over on this side. We got the neighborhoods over here, like we were working on earlier, obviously. And it's really not making up a whole lot of this area over here, so there's plenty of empty space. I wanted to leave this river relatively untouched. I wanted to leave lots of green space over here that's going to be sort of turned into some dirt walking paths and lots of nature and foliage and all that stuff around there. Potentially going to have some campsites here and there around this area, mostly because, like I said, this whole town is supposed to be focused around, well, first of all, the rally course and rally event going on over here, and also some natural components, maybe like a campsite, maybe some dirt trails here and there. So with all that in mind, the original plan of this episode is, or was supposed to be, working on not only this town, but I also wanted to start on this rally event over here. You may have noticed, though, we are getting a bit close to the end of the episode, and I really want to do this right. I want to make a really cool looking rally track, and since I've been just planning this for a while, I've been accumulating all these assets for this, and sort of planning out the way that this track's going to go. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to put it at the end of this episode. I feel like we're not going to get it done if we try and do that, or at least done well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the episode for now, and then next episode we're going to come back. We're going to put our full focus into this rally event, and as I said, I think the more that I've been thinking about this, the more that I've been wanting to make this a bit more than just a little get-together over here. I want to have like campsites back here. I want to have campers and you know, bonfires and whatever, and have little trails that kind of connect to this area, that have more campsites around these. That'll be a bit more, you know, maybe not really associated with the rally event per se, but just the fact that this whole town is kind of nestled in here right behind this waterfall and this little valley, and I want to go for that sort of rural feel, and I want to try and use props and nature and rocks and foliage and all the things that aren't necessarily built into the game, you know, like the roads and the neighborhoods, to try and develop this town and make it feel like an actual, you know, inhabited area without using all those things. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. I think next episode, I think it'll be a lot of fun, honestly. I really have not done anything like this before. I've never tried to make a rally course before, and to be totally honest, I don't really watch rally very much. I know it's been a requested thing, and it sounds really cool to me, so I've been looking into it a little bit. I can't promise it's going to be the most true and accurate thing possible, but I have been researching it quite a bit, and I do think that we can make a pretty sweet looking rally track. It really hasn't been done a whole lot anyway, I don't think. Just kind of looking around YouTube and Reddit and all that stuff. I really haven't seen a whole lot of attempts at rally courses, so I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to just tackle the whole thing next episode. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know down below what you think about everything so far and all the new terraforming, and give me some ideas for, I guess, the rest of this area over here. I'm still kind of planning this out, but other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.